Irrevocable Life Insurance Trusts. I know, but don't change the channel just yet. It may be a useful tool in building a comprehensive estate plan, and it can help ensure that the benefits from a life insurance policy may help mitigate estate taxes. All right, so now I've got your attention. So, how can it be beneficial now and potentially in the long term? Let's break it down for you right now on UBS Trending. Hi, everybody, and welcome to UBS Trending. I'm Anthony Pastore. Thanks so much for being with us today. We're going to get right into the topic with my guests, Patrick Harrington and Chris McCullough. Chris, I want to start with you. Talked about Irrevocable Life Insurance Trusts, or ILITs. I hope you don't mind if we say that from now on. It's a long name, a better acronym.
Acronyms are great.
Acronyms are great. So ILITs. Let's talk about what the relevance is. I kind of gave a tease of what they are. Maybe you can give us 30 seconds on what an ILIT is, but really why we're talking about them today.
Sure. So an Irrevocable Life Insurance Trust, or an ILIT, is a trust that owns a life insurance policy on the death of the grantor, the person who created the trust. And at that person's passing, the trust receives the death benefit from the policy. So if it's designed correctly, that death benefit's outside of the person's estate, and it's also income tax-free to the trust. And so why is this important for clients currently? Well, the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act increased the basic lifetime estate tax exclusion, which as of today sits at $13.61 million for an individual, just over $27 million for a couple. But that number is set to expire or sunset as of January 1st, 2026, back to the original amount, which is $5 million. It'll be indexed for inflation, so let's call it $7 million. So if you're a married couple, maybe $14 million. So we have a lot of clients who are wrestling with, should they give some money away to their kids now? Are they going to wake up in January 26 and have estate tax exposure? The Irrevocable Life Insurance Trust is one tool in our toolbox that a lot of clients are asking us about, and so it's a great way to maybe hedge against this change in the estate tax law.
Yeah, I was going to say interest probably picked up with people understanding that there's a potential sunset if Congress doesn't act by the end of next year.
Yeah, and I think what you hit there, Anthony, is really important. Does Congress act? We have another election cycle to get through. I think it'll be a really big one in this fall for all of us. We'll see what happens, and then all of the smart folks at UBS who handle the political side of the house, they're keeping an eye on it, and so they'll keep us apprised.
That's right. Thank goodness we have them and their expertise. Patrick, let me bring in here talk about the relevance of the insurance angle of this, especially when related to this topic and the ILITs. How does that all work together?
Sure. So, Anthony, the way that I view life insurance is really, it's just an asset class or another tool, like Chris mentioned, that a client can use as a funding solution for things like an estate tax liability or a wealth transfer strategy. And by the way, this has been around for a very long time because it's so simple, but it's also so effective. So, Chris was just talking about ways to move money and position it outside of your estate with these high exemption amounts. What you'll find is that clients who are going through this process will look at life insurance and the attributes of life insurance as a way to diversify the balance sheet and create a more effective wealth transfer plan. So what are those attributes? Number one, the death benefit is income and estate tax free if you structure it properly. Number two, it's liquid, right? So the benefit is convertible to cash immediately upon your passing, which is important to a lot of people. Three, there's a known valuation. So when you set up this type of strategy, there's a fixed benefit that on day one, you get that leverage. So it doesn't matter if your time is a week from today, 40 years from now, hopefully 100 years down the road, that benefit is going to be there when you need it, and you design it in a very conservative fashion that's not correlated to other products, other asset classes that are being discussed in this conversation.
Right. So it's exempt from estate tax. Is it also income tax as well? These are the ILITs. That's huge, and that's let's put it bluntly. When you say $27 million for a couple, somebody goes, "Wow, that's a lot of money." But if you're a couple and you're both working full time and you're saving and you're investing and you've got a 401k and you own homes, that could kind of add up. And then all of a sudden, if it goes to $10 million or $14 million a couple, if Congress doesn't act, that's very attainable for a lot of people. Yes, so what's the client profile here?
Sure. So, I think the client profile, it really runs the gamut through all of our clients, that this is an important thing for them to assess if it makes sense. So that might be a $10 million family, or it could be, a $25+ million family. And the reason that it works for everybody is because, one, it's a source of liquidity, and Patrick can talk to this a little bit, as far as if you are a family that owns a small business, right, and you maybe have illiquidity at the death of the second spouse, and you need to have life insurance come into the estate to inject some liquidity, or a client more along the $10 million spectrum. That can be a really powerful tool for you as well. But maybe Patrick can speak to that a little bit.
Yeah, what I'm finding in my conversations is that you're finding a client, and for life insurance specifically, there's a lot of considerations on why someone would look at it.
Right.
But for this topic specifically, I think you'll find, number one, a client has high net worth, right? So they're expecting an estate tax liability, right? So they're prepaying that on a discounted basis using life insurance. Number two, there's a liquidity issue. So maybe they have a high net worth, but it's tied up in real estate, their business, and they don't want to force sale of that asset to their children or whoever's going to inherit that. Well, they need to come up with liquid cash to pay the estate tax bill. You don't want to sell the family vacation home to come up with that bill. And then lastly, I think this is an important thing, is control. There's a lot of people who may not want to give up a large asset and give up control over that asset. So use life insurance as a way to create that benefit, but pay for it through their cash flow via premiums. So control the rest of your assets, create the benefit when you pass away using a life insurance product. And I know control is an important topic with a lot of the conversations that you're having.
Control is very important, and I think life insurance certainly provides some semblance of control in setting up, especially if you do it through an irrevocable life insurance trust. You can put some parameters around how the funds are used, and I think also there's an aspect of simplicity. One of the things that we talk about with clients a lot is making significant gifts during their lifetime to try to use up some of this $13 or $27 million, and a lot of clients wrestle with that concept of giving up too much control on those funds and letting their kids have access to them. A simple way to maybe make sure that the funds are there either for an estate tax or for the kids is to use a life insurance policy, and you're kind of buying certainty that the funds are there, and then you have some control over the way they're used.
That's terrific. Yeah, and I know there's a lot of information that we talked about today. Clearly, there's things that people want to take away from this and have further conversations. But what would you say, Chris, is the one takeaway you'd have for our viewers for today?
So I think the biggest thing is one, to review your entire balance sheet. So holistic wealth planning, that's your real estate, any private assets you might have. I bet that you have some insurance policies that you might not have looked at for a while. You should pull those out and ask your UBS financial advisor to take a look at them. And Patrick might have some commentary on that as well.
Yeah, I guess I would just add that there's no time like the present, right? So this is a 2-year window of opportunity. That's a really nice opportunity for a lot of people to take advantage of. And these things take time. It's not a matter of weeks, it's months. It's coordination of your attorney, your accountant, your financial advisor. So I would say there's no time like the present. Speak to those people that are in your financial picture and get working, because before you know it, you'll blink and 2 years will have gone by.
Yeah, then the window closes faster than we think it will. 2 years sounds like a long time, but it goes fast. Guys, thank you very much. Patrick and Chris, good to see you. Thanks for all the information. Great work.
Thank you.
Thank you. And for more information on anything we talked about today, clearly we want you to call your financial advisor, because a lot of this can be maybe a little complicated. You probably heard a lot of words today that are making you think a lot about, you know what, I should pick up the phone and call that person. So talk to your FA first and foremost. But also check out our Insights website, ubs.com/views. There's lots of great content from UBS up there for you. Plus, you can follow us on social media. We're on all the channels, including Instagram at UBS Trending. Great content there that you won't find anywhere else. In the meantime, everybody, we hope you have a great day. From New York City, I'm Anthony Pastore. Remember to keep your eyes on what's trending. We'll see you soon.